Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Karen Marsdale, President at the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and we're here for another segment of Member Spotlight. And it's my thrill today to introduce two ladies that I know well and who work for an amazing organization. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to get started right away. So, Kirsten.
Well, my name's Kirsten Keim-Shendge. I've been with Bethany for 6 months, and I've gotten to know Bethany and working with Meggan Kerber a lot better. It's been an adventure already, and I know there's a lot more to come.
Hi, my name is Meggan Kerber. I'm the Director of Development at Bethany Children's Home, and we are pleased to join you, Karen, today to share a little bit about our mission.
Well, I'm thrilled that you're here, and you look pretty in pink, if that's okay to say. I love the bright color, and I'm sure it's the way you all smile every day when you're at work at Bethany. But Bethany has a great legacy in our community. Many people know of your work, but some people may not. So can you give me a little bit of a tee-up of the organization? As I said earlier, if I was here from New York City and said, what does Bethany do, what would you say?
So Bethany has been in existence for 154 years. We provide residential and therapeutic care for children and youth who have been abused, abandoned, or neglected. We serve primarily youth here in Berks County, but we do serve a 21 county area here in the state of Pennsylvania. On an average daily basis, we are currently serving 91 kids that are residing at Bethany. So needless to say, this summer is quite busy. Since kids are out of school, we are entertaining them in addition to providing them health and medical care, music therapy, exposure to the arts and music and different recreational activities. Many of our kids have not had the childhood that most people would expect a child to have, which is very unfortunate. So that some of the simple things of maybe swimming in a pool, going to Hawk Mountain hiking, going for an ice cream cone, or playing miniature golf are all new experiences for our kids. So we really start at the basics with them. We start with living skills. What's it like to sleep in a bed? For some of the kids, explaining what a bed is. What's a sheet, what's a pillow, why you need those. Showering, bathing, clothing appropriately, to then learning how to cook and to clean and take care of the building in which they reside in, because that is part of their program, is learning how to care for their place of living in addition to themselves while they're receiving therapeutic care.
That is really interesting, and I think most of our viewers probably can't relate, obviously, but it certainly is so needed, and probably needed more than ever. Are you at capacity, or is there room for? There
is some more room. I can share with you that unfortunately the level of trauma that our kids face is happening in every single community here in Berks County and beyond. No neighborhood, no town is left unexposed to the trauma and the abuse that occurs to children. So we have capacity right now for 120. However, our residential program is currently pretty full. We have a little bit of a waiting list for that program, but we are looking right now to open up additional buildings on our campus to accommodate more kids coming into care. Our shelter, which is our emergency crisis center, for kids that are in need of immediate placement out of the home or whichever environment they come from. So these are kids that are identified through Children and Youth or the local police departments, and it could be at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It doesn't matter, where they're in a situation and they're like, this child needs to be removed for their safety. They come into our shelter. That's a 32-bed facility that we have there. So we have still a little bit room. We have admissions and discharges every day, so it all seems to balance itself out.
It just seems like such a terrible thing to say that there's a waiting list for children who are abused and neglected. but that's the reality.
That is the reality.
And so we really want to get the word out that, how are the ways that we can help to, if there's room for expansion right on the facility, how do you get that? And I'm sure it's always a balancing act of funding.
Funding and staffing.
And staffing. Staffing too, yes.
Yes, staffing.
And I would suspect, and I know both of you well, and you've been in that world of marketing development, and so you're not on the, I should say the care side, the program side. But I'm sure it affects all of you to see the challenges. So talk a little bit before we really get into some ways that perhaps people can help who are listening. How do you keep your positive attitude and your feeling of hope for children and for these young people when you probably see, or those that are working in program will tell you things that just we couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I would say a lot of people approach Kirsten and myself and say, it must be a really sad place to work because you're working with these kids that such horrible things have happened to, and for many of our kids, we couldn't even make up their stories because they're so horrific. And I said, many people may think, yeah, it's a sad place, but the reality is that we're giving these kids the hope, strength, and courage to take back their lives. They are thankful, for the most part, to be removed from their environment and have opportunities. They have food, they have clothing, they have shelter, the basic needs of human life we can provide to them. Then they get into our recreation programs and our education programs, and then they really start to understand really what they should be having as a childhood because they've never had that childhood. So when you come onto our campus in Wilmersdorf, it's not a sad place. We look like, many people say it's almost like a college campus because it's so beautiful. And you see kids outside playing. You see kids right now in the pool swimming and having a good time. And those are joys that they may have not had before. So it's really kind of exciting to see them be able to be themselves without having to hold back their feelings anymore.
Yeah. And I think that's what you must, as you work in this work, have to feel that way. Well, Kirsten, I know you want to talk about a couple of things that are going on, and these are things that are not only enjoyable for a community, but also can help immensely for the organization and for this mission that is just so needed. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I'm going to talk about our concert series.
Okay.
And speaking of the campus, we like to get people out to see it. We're not a lockdown facility. You can come and go. We have a gorgeous 350-acre campus with rolling hills and farmland. So to bring the community out, we're offering a free summer concert series.
Oh, wonderful.
So we are up to our third event. We're hoping for sunshine this Friday. We are having No Return. They are a Kansas tribute band. They performed at the parks last summer and they were immensely popular. They're great guys. They have some local ties, so they're having some local friends out. Yeah, so they do an amazing rendition of Blowing in the Wind. So there's some great songs there. The week after, which is the 28th, we have the Tin Bird Choir. They are a Chester County-based folk rock band.
Oh, cool.
And also, I know one of the lead singers.
So
super.
Out
there. And then the week after, August 4th, we have our perennial country favorite, Stephanie Grace.
Oh, yes.
So she, does the whole gamut of country to pop. And we're closing the series with the Uptown Band on the 11th.
Oh, super.
So we're inviting the public. There's snacks for sale, but it's a free concert. Bring out your blanket and your chairs and just have fun on our campus.
That is neat. And can people just log on to the website to find out more information?
Check the website and Facebook.
Okay.
And we have ads in the newspapers, so Facebook's probably the best bet. I keep that up.
Facebook, everyone.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Facebook.
That's super. That sounds like a wonderful thing. I'll have to look into that.
Yes.
Because those are some really cool venues that
And it's
you're
all
bringing
free.
in.
We just want to have people to come out and see our campus.
That is just neat. We're running out of a little bit of time because I just was very interested, and thank you for so much of the information you gave us. But I know there's another big event coming up in September, which is going to be really cool. And I think this is how many?
This is our second
year to do this.
Yes.
And so talk real quickly about that.
Real quickly, unique opportunity for the community to become engaged with Bethany and to participate in a special event that only we are doing in Berks County and nobody else can do it, so it's really awesome. It's called Over the Edge, in which you have an opportunity to rappel 525 Lancaster Avenue. It's an 80-foot rappel. We are not jumping. We are rappelling. And
No jumping.
no
we're
jumping.
jumping.
Yeah, we are rappelling this building to create awareness about the abuse of children in our community and letting people know that there are organizations out here like Bethany that can help these kids through their trauma. And this year, our campaign is focusing on the health and medical needs of our kids. Many come in without or with very little medical insurance,
Sure,
but they have
sure.
a grand scheme of medical needs. So our campaign this year, our goal is to raise about $110,000, and that will benefit dental visits, eye care, doctor's appointments, counseling, medications, specialized equipment that some of our kids may need while they're in care. So we're really excited to bring back Over the Edge. It's Friday, September 22nd this year. Folks can sign up by going onto our Facebook page or going onto the World Wide Web at becomeanedger.com, and you can learn about the campaign. Anybody can participate, any ability, disability, doesn't matter. Love to have you. The only requirement is you have to weigh at least 100 pounds, but it doesn't matter your age either. We've had as young as 18, and this year, they might hurt me for saying this on air, but we have 2 edgers in their 80s that are going down. So
That
we're
is so
really
cool.
excited to have them join us. It's going to be from 10 to 6 at 525 Lancaster Avenue. Not only is this open for those that are edging, but for the general community, because our base camp will be filled with vendors around the theme of health and wellness, and there'll be free food and live entertainment. So we invite everybody to come out and join us. You don't have to go over the edge to come out and support the kids.
Well, I can hear your enthusiasm for it, and I know exactly where 525 is, so it's a great building to do that. And let's hope for more edgers so that you
Yes.
can and really get in there, folks, and support Bethany's Children's Home with this particular event, because they do great work and they're so needed, and it's such a blessing for Berks County. So thank you, ladies, so much for being here and
Thank
talking.
you for having us.
It's a real pleasure and honor.
Great. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.